Have you ever wondered if there's a world beyond our own? A place where the rules of physics are just suggestions, and your identity can be whatever you choose. This isn't the opening of a sci-fi movie. It's the promise of a concept that has been brewing for decades. A term you've probably heard a lot lately, the metaverse. But what is it, really? Is it just a collection of fancy video games? Or is it the next evolution of the internet itself? The next chapter in how we live, work, and play? Let's unravel the story of this digital frontier, from its humble beginnings to the multi-billion-dollar race it has become today. The word metaverse itself didn't come from a boardroom or a tech lab. It was born in the pages of a 1992 cyberpunk novel called Snow Crash by Neil Stephenson. He imagined a vast, immersive virtual world, a successor to the internet, accessed through terminals and goggles. In this world, people appeared as digital avatars, interacting with each other on a single globe-spanning virtual street called, simply, the street. It was a place of business, of socializing, of intrigue, and of escape. Stevenson's vision was so detailed and so powerful that it planted a seed in the minds of an entire generation of programmers, dreamers, and entrepreneurs. It gave them a name and a blueprint for the grand digital universe they aspired to build. But the dream is much older than the name. Long before Snow Crash, the desire to create alternate realities was already taking shape. Think back to the earliest text-based adventure games of the 1970s and 80s, like Zork or the Mud's multi-user dungeons. These were the proto-metaverses. Through simple text commands on a black screen, you could explore dungeons, solve puzzles, and, most importantly, interact with other players in a shared, persistent digital space. It was rudimentary, sure, but it proved a fundamental human desire, the need to connect and build communities, even through a screen. You weren't just playing a game. You were a citizen of a tiny text-based world. Weren't these the first digital citizens, carving out a new kind of social existence? As technology progressed, so did these virtual worlds. The 1990s and early 2000s saw the rise of graphical MMORPGs, massively multiplayer, online role-playing games like Ultima Online and EverQuest. Suddenly, our shared spaces had visuals. We weren't just reading about a dragon. We were seeing it. And we were teaming up with dozens of other real players to fight it. These games created complex, player-driven economies, where virtual items sold for real-world money. They had intricate social hierarchies, and even digital politics. People got married, started businesses, and formed lifelong friendships within these pixelated realms. They were living parallel lives online, investing thousands of hours into their digital identities. Then, in 2003, a platform called Second Life arrived, and it changed the game entirely. Second Life wasn't a game with quests or monsters to defeat. Its objective was simply to live. It was a true digital sandbox. Users, called residents, could create anything their imaginations could conjure, from virtual homes and cars to entire islands and businesses, using in-world 3D modeling tools. Crucially, they owned their digital creations and could buy and sell them using a virtual currency, the Linden dollar, which was exchangeable for real-world currency. This was revolutionary. Major companies like IBM and Reuters opened virtual offices. Universities held classes, and bands performed live concerts for audiences of avatars. For a moment, it felt like the metaverse from Snow Crash was finally here. It was a glimpse into a future where the digital and physical economies were intertwined. But why didn't it become the mainstream metaverse we talk about today? Perhaps it was just a little too ahead of its time. The technology wasn't quite ready. Internet speeds weren't fast enough, and the user experience was still too complex for the average person. This brings us to the modern era, the era of Roblox, Minecraft, and Fortnite. You might think of these as just games, but look closer. They are colossal, persistent social platforms that have perfected the lessons of their predecessors. Minecraft is a world of infinite creative potential, where players collaborate to build staggering creations. Roblox isn't just one game. It's a platform where millions of users, many of them teenagers, create and share their own games and experiences, with its top creators earning millions of dollars a year. And Fortnite has evolved far beyond a battle royale game. It hosts massive virtual concerts with artists like Travis Scott and Ariana Grande, events that attract tens of millions of concurrent users. It's a place where you can watch a movie premiere with your friends 1 minute and battle for survival the next. These platforms are not just games anymore. They are cultural hubs. They are the training grounds for the next generation of metaverse citizens, teaching them the language of digital identity, virtual economies, and social interaction in 3D space. So, what is the ultimate objective? Why are some of the world's largest companies pouring billions of dollars into building the metaverse? The goal is to create a seamless, persistent, and interconnected network of virtual worlds. Imagine an internet you can step inside. Instead of browsing a website, you walk into a virtual store. Instead of a video call, you sit with photorealistic avatars of your colleagues in a virtual meeting room, feeling their presence in a way a 2D screen could never allow. You could attend a history class by walking through ancient Rome, or learn to be a surgeon by performing a virtual operation with haptic feedback. The objective is to break down the barriers between the physical and digital, creating what some call an embodied internet. It's about presence, the feeling of actually being there with other people, no matter where you are in the world. And it's about interoperability, the dream that your avatar, your identity, and your digital belongings can move freely with you from one virtual world to another, just like you carry your wallet from one store to another in the real world. This brings us to today. The metaverse is no longer a single, unified place. It's a fragmented collection of these budding virtual worlds, each with its own community and rules. The race is on to connect them. We're seeing huge advancements in the underlying technology. Virtual and augmented reality headsets are becoming more accessible and powerful, offering deeper immersion. Blockchain technology and NFTs are exploring new, decentralized models of digital ownership, promising a metaverse not owned by a single company, but by its users. And AI is creating more dynamic and believable virtual characters and environments. But major questions remain. Who will govern this new world? How will we ensure it's a safe and inclusive space? What happens to our data and our privacy when our lives become even more enmeshed with the digital? And will the metaverse be an open, interconnected system like the early internet, or a series of walled gardens controlled by a few tech giants? The story of the metaverse is not just a story about technology. It's a story about human connection, creativity, and the timeless quest to build new worlds. It began as a whisper in a science fiction novel, grew through text-based adventures, blossomed in early virtual worlds, and is now thundering into our reality through platforms that millions of us use every single day. We are all, in a way, pioneers on this new frontier. The final form of the metaverse is yet to be written, and its future will be shaped not just by the companies building it, but by the people who choose to inhabit it. The question is no longer if it will happen, but what role we will choose to play when it does. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through the past, present, and future of the metaverse. If you found this story fascinating, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives into the technologies shaping our world. See you in the next one.